Just getting our first post-match interview of the season here at Stansted following tonight's 0-0 draw in the FA Cup. Skip, we'll start with you. It was a bit of a struggle at times. They put us under a lot of pressure towards the end of the game. I think we probably dominated the first half. How did you see it as a whole? Because I think probably both teams will probably go away thinking maybe they could have nicked it.
Yeah, I think it was a game there. First half I thought we played well. I thought we got down the sides numerous times. Probably our Achilles heel down the years is the ball comes in and there's no one at the back post. There's 2 or 3 that have gone across, there's no one there. We haven't had any what you'd call real clear-cut chances. We've had a few half chances. They've defended well. You always knew you get to half time if they're still in the game. Then it's a 45-minute game potentially. And the crazy thing is, the first 20 minutes of the second half, I thought they were the better side, and they did. They put us under a lot of pressure. And me, Dave and James were looking at changes, and just as we were sitting there starting to get lads to warm up, with about 20 to go, we actually, I thought, took control of the game, and suddenly we were camped in their half, and all of a sudden you got that impetus, and now you're suddenly thinking, do you make a change? Because it's now us in their third camped in. So we didn't, and we sort of left it at the end, and we brought Tilson on because of his height, because we were suddenly, with 3 or 4 minutes to go, they were getting corners and throws, and our box was getting peppered. But I think a draw is a fair result if you're looking at it. I think both sides gave everything. Did either side deserve to win? Probably not. And so yeah, we go again on, I believe, Monday night. So yeah, a good cup tie, to be fair. No bad tackles, no real incidents. It was played in quite good. I think there was one incident halfway through the second half when the referee hasn't given a decision against a foul by them, and then it suddenly escalated from nothing to 8 or 9 people surrounding him. But I thought, apart from that, I thought he was played in good spirits. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a good night's entertainment watching that, because you're always thinking you don't want to be on the end of a cup upset. But we go again Monday.
James, how much do you think the fact that they've played 2 games already competitively in the league maybe had an effect on tonight's game, with it being our first of the season?
I think it does probably sharpen them up a little bit, because for a lot of these lads, here's the first 90 minutes they've actually had. So I think that does come into it. But I think it was a difficult one to come straight into, I suppose, from a competitive match, like you say, from having sort of half games here and there. But that said, like Skip's just mentioned, I think throughout the game, I mean, there was periods where they could have nicked it right at the end, and a great backward recovery tip over the bar by George. But equally, we've had one, it looked like, from our angle, it looked like it was a tap-in. I don't know if it was just mistimed or like a bobble or whatever it was at the back post there. So it could have gone either way, really. But yeah, I think it's one of those things. They're all generally quite fit players anyway. So I wouldn't like to think it would make too much of a big difference. But it's 2 games. But you could argue the other way, Lee, and say they've gone from doing their pre-season schedule and rotating players like we all do, and try out new players, and they've overplayed games in a short period of time. So I think it's much of a muchness, to be honest.
Yeah. Dave, Skip was just alluding to the conundrum with the substitutions. Do you think that maybe with hindsight that maybe some changes may have possibly changed the outcome of the match?
I just said at the end to the lads when we had a chat that it's possibly a little bit down to me that the way the game was, today we probably weren't brave enough and said let's go for it. But there's also a part of us is that let's take them back and play again on Monday. So was it a case of the last 15 minutes? It was almost like let's just not lose the game rather than maybe trying to go and win it. Yeah, kind of. But we were also on top of that period. I mean, Adam was giving so many problems down the right, and we say we wasn't brave. Laurie played a lot of that last 20 minutes in around their box, and we had a lot of play around the box. So we were contemplating the changes. We felt George Bailey was not going to see 90 minutes through, which he did. So we were getting players ready for him. We were going to make the change to get Weddy higher and bring Tilson in that position. We felt that Ethan was tying a bit, so we was looking at potentially Lee. you know, and we were looking to try and get. Then we talked about the last 10 minutes and get Raf on for 10 minutes. You know, let him run at them for 10 minutes. So it was all an idea, and it was all about at one stage it was going to happen. They were all four of them were getting ready to play, and then we took charge of the game again. So the last 15-20 minutes, I thought it was all us, apart from the odd break from him. And look, without a doubt, there's a great save at the end, but that's from, you know, one of the many balls that get put into the box. And let's be fair, we've won 99% of the headers in our box today. So we've been outstanding in our box, Fish in particular, but all of them. And eventually they've got a little bit of a backward flick to one that, and it's just took and the truth is, if he catches it clean, George is probably going to stand and catch it, but it looped, and it just, so in the end that's why he's had to back pedal. But in truth, you know, George has not made a save, and he's made one in the first couple of minutes and he's made one in the last minute, and other than that he's took a few crosses and he's made a few punches, but he's not had a great deal to do, as their keeper hasn't, you know. So both keepers have really done very little today. You know, I think George has had more of it, but that's because we use him as a sweeper, and he, you know, and he distributes the ball real quick and lets us play from that. Their goalkeeper, when it went in his hands, it was, you know, it was 60 yards down the pitch, down our throats, and then we'd have to win. Off we go. We have to win another header. But you know, we play against sides that play that way all the time. I think it suits them. I think they do it very well. They're very good at what they do. Give them praise. That, you know, that's how they set up, and it causes problems. But it's one of those games, you know, if they score and go 1-up in the game, they'll probably sit deep and hold on to it. If we score and they have to come, that probably allows us to open them up. But it was one of those, it was cat and mouse. They want to give anything away, we don't want to give anything away. We were both looking to probably nick it. And in truth, you know, neither of us made either keeper work too much. So, you know, I was pleased with the efforts and everything else, but we also said at the end we need to look at it slightly different if we're going to create more chances.
Excellent stuff. Well, I don't know whether to say commiserations or well done, but we go again on Monday, gents, and we look forward to the replay on Monday night at Barton Rovers.
Cheers, Lee.
Cheers.